Hello, welcome to PCMag Live. I'm Dan Costa and Sascha. Sascha, come on over here. He is Sascha Segan, and we've got a great show for you today. We're going to talk about the top tech news of the day. We're going to pull one cool thing off the shelf in the lab, or wheel it off the shelf in the lab, and then we're also going to answer some of your reader questions. But first, before we get to that, we want to talk to you a little bit about our sponsor. Intel is sponsoring PCMag Live today, and Sascha, I think you have those words.
Today's show is brought to you by Intel, which invites you to check out its new pop-up Intel Experience store in New York City. This unique, ever-changing environment provides the opportunity to get your hands on some of the latest Intel-based tablets and two-in-one devices. You can even test drive some of them at home for a 24-hour period, enabling you to truly try before you buy. Catch the Intel Experience store at 262 Mott Street in Nolita, open now through January 25th. For more information, go to intel.com/stores.
Thanks for that. Also, so the big news today, Qualcomm has announced its Gimbal application. We talked a little bit about Apple's iBeacon last week when that launched, but now Qualcomm's coming out with its own technology, very similar, and it solves our major number one problem we had with iBeacon, and that's that it's cross-platform. These beacons are going to cost $5 to $10, and they'll be placed throughout retail stores, and they'll be able to track consumers' movements. Sascha, does this work for you? Is this finally a compelling use of this technology?
Well, my major question is how quickly they're going to be able to implement it, how quickly it's going to actually be able to appear in these stores, because Apple has so much of a head start at this point. I mean, they're already implementing iBeacon. Really, they're only held back by the fact that most of the smartphones in this country are now Android, and they need an Android-compatible solution. But if it takes a year for Qualcomm to put this together, I don't know, will someone else step into it? Will iBeacon, help Apple gain market share? I'm just worried about the time gap here.
Yeah, I think there's also issues of compatibility. I think Apple wants to be in this market. They want this space. I think that there's going to be a lot of reasons for them to open up their technology to Android users. I think that some of this might come out in the wash. And also, this is not difficult technology to deploy. You can kit out a store in a couple of hours just by locating these beacons and then having a back end to control it. So it is fairly flexible. But very interesting stuff. We'll start seeing that in retailers. And of course, then you've got to deal with the fact that this technology still freaks a lot of people out. And there's going to be some consumer education that needs to take place.
I was discussing that with some people yesterday, and it really just needs to be opt-in. I mean, the simple solution for everyone is that all of these stores make it opt-in with coupons. You want coupons, you opt in, everything's good, they track you, you get coupons, everyone's happy. It's making it happen by default without people selecting it. That's what freaks people out.
Also in the news, Google has announced that consumers will be able to create their own street views. It's an extension of the Photosphere app, which isn't on many phones and is not that commonly available. A lot of people don't even know that function is out there, but finally people will be able to create their own street views and upload them to Google. Sascha, have you used this service? Obviously you've used phones that have the functionality, but have you ever used it?
No, what's funny is that my primary phone is an Android phone, and I have never used Photosphere. Photosphere is one of those lesser-known Android applications. It's not available on many phones. It's mostly available on the Nexuses. It's buried in the camera, and you just don't see a lot of people accessing it or using it. So, I mean, Google just has this incredible library of stuff a lot of people don't use that sounds kind of cool, but they haven't been able to foreground. And I think this make your own street view thing may just become one of those features.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. Also in the news, and we saw this in the news meeting, we almost thought it might be a joke, but it turns out this is a real thing. This really happened. The National Reconnaissance Office has put up a spy rocket. That's what they do. That's what their job is. Totally understandable. It's the NRO 39 rocket, but on the side of the rocket, they painted a picture of a giant octopus with the words, "Our reach extends everywhere." This seems like kind of terrible PR for an organization that's getting all sorts of bad press already. Why would anyone think this is a good idea?
Well, first of all, I want to say I'm very pro-octopus. Octopus is one of my favorite animals. And the spies said, octopi are smart, intelligent, adaptable, have a lot of personality. Absolutely agree with all that. Go octopi. But I mean, it just shows the intelligence community, at this point, they are honey badgers. They do not care. They are looking at all this pressure. The public, Congress, they do not seem to care. It does not seem to be getting through to them. And that's a little scary. It's a little scary that we're making all of this noise about surveillance and the NSA and all of that, but you look into the intelligence community and they're just laughing it off. What does that mean for our country?
Yeah, they're literally making a joke out of it, and it shows this hubris. I mean, literally, our National Reconnaissance Office sounds like a bad James Bond villain. I mean, this is what this comes down to. You can see pictures of it on PCMag.com. Kind of disappointing, not a great joke, but an interesting story nonetheless. Now it's time to move on to a reader question. We answer reader questions via email, on Facebook, on Twitter. This question actually came in via email from Jeff. He wants to know why Android apps like Newegg and Walmart, retail applications, are asking permission to use his camera and whether he can stop them or whether he should stop them. And we've talked a lot about this. It's amazing the types of permissions your run-of-the-mill Android apps request.
Well, there's a couple of reasons they might do that. First of all, they may just be lazily programmed and just be asking for all the permissions for everything just in case for the future. Why not? But with retail apps, it is much, much more likely that they are using your camera to do a barcode scanning function. They're using it to do price matching and price checking. I think the Walmart app does that. And they need to use the camera to take the pictures of the barcode so that they can check the price. Now, that said, I don't know of any way to stop a third-party app from using your camera. So if that's the case, if you are too freaked out by the fact that these apps might use your camera, just uninstall the app and use the retailer's mobile website instead, because that will not have the same permissions and it'll be more sandboxed.
Yeah, although there will be some tracking involved there as well, just probably not of your camera. Very good question. Now let's move on to one cool thing. Every year we test thousands of products here at PCMag Labs. Every day we take one thing off the shelf and show it to you live on camera. Today, that thing didn't come off the shelf. It actually wheeled in and is currently wearing Sascha's coat, and that's the Double Telepresece Robot. Sascha is actually in his office on the other side of the building. He could be at home today and telecommuting into this device. It is basically a Segway-like platform with an iPad mounted on top. He's telecommuting in via another iPad. I took this for a spin yesterday. It's very fun and very cool. It's not cheap. It's $2,500 for the system, but it's relatively stable and kind of useful for telecommunication purposes. Sascha, you've been in the bot a couple of times now. Do you think this is something people are going to really reuse?
This thing is ridiculously fun. I cannot believe how much fun I am having right now. It's a genuinely functional telepresence robot, okay? We are in the future. This is totally sci-fi technology. I feel like I'm in the room. I feel like I'm in the meeting. I don't just feel like a Skype window on a desk, or even worse, a disembodied voice over a conference call. I've been using it. Eugene Kim, another one of our analysts, has been using it. It is a blast, and it really does improve the telecommuting experience. On the other hand, it's $2,500, which just makes me think, okay, this is a cool technology demo. This is going to be one of those things in the Hammaker Schlemmer Christmas catalog for rich people with the like $8,000, liquid natural gas powered tricycle for your kid. But this could definitely be the future of telecommuting 5-10 years down the road when these things are $500.
Yeah, I would actually even say $2,500 is a lot of money, but if you think about it, not everybody needs one every day. So if you're in an office of 50 people and people communicate, you've got one person telecommuting every day, all of a sudden it could start to pay for itself. I think there's some value, especially for businesses. So that has been PCMag Live. That is Sascha. And note that when you actually buy this in stores, it does not come with Sascha's jacket. You have to purchase that separately. You also have to purchase the iPad separately. However, very cool technology. You can read Eugene Kim's full review on PCMag.com, where he goes really into depth about how this thing works. That is PCMag Live for today. We will be back on air tomorrow. Perhaps Sascha will be here. Perhaps it will just be the double. Tune in and find out.